morning, everybody. Welcome, thanks for coming. I'd like to take just a moment, I'd like to have a moment of silence for the 31 people that were shot up in Lewiston, the people that died and the people that were injured. So we just observed a moment of silence for that. Thank you. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Move the minutes be approved as written.
Second.
Any corrections or deletions, additions? Those in favor? Selectmen's comments. Paul?
Yeah, I've got several things today. Something we talked about a while ago was using the Get Ready grant money that we got for doing the outreach to the community about the broadband project. We have about $8,000 or $9,000 left of that, and we talked about doing a Wi-Fi installation so that publicly accessible Wi-Fi could be available in the town building. So I'm going to get some quotes for that this week and see what, and I'm getting confirmation from Maine Connectivity to see that's still a good plan. So just wanted to let you know that I'm going to call some vendors and get some quotes unless anybody has any objections to that. The fridge magnet thing that we're doing in the communications committee is being designed, and we'll distribute that later in November. We talked about the LED light grant thing, so I'll look into that grant that we talked about earlier to get. Should we look into getting the whole building done or just the fire side? Whole building.
I think the whole building.
Have them split it though, only because these aren't that old on this side and we're not having any problems with them, but why don't you get a quote doing the whole building, a quote for the fire department?
And the North Station.
And the North Station.
And the last thing is, I've got several inquiries from residents in the past month about ordinances. Like somebody was throwing a party and wanted to know about the outdoor event ordinance. Anyway, two of the ordinances that I got asked about weren't on the website. So I made a list of all of the ordinances. I worked with Opal the other day, made a list of all the ordinances, figured out which ones were on the website. So we're going to work to get all the rest of the ordinances put on the website. There's only about a third of them on there now, so we have quite a few to do. And that's it.
Thank you.
I have two things. One is I reached out to VIW about, like, could they do something about maybe slowing down their employees when they leave here at 3:30. And I finally heard back from somebody, and he said he would remind his employees that it's important to be considerate of, the towns they're driving through, and then also reminded me that maybe I should reach out to the sheriff's office. And that's a good idea. So anyway, I did, I just want to pass that along. And then the next other thing is our Veterans Day event this year will be at Old Grove Cemetery on November 11th at 11 a.m. Roger Braun is working on it, but also the special events committee met a couple of weeks ago. And I think they are providing I don't think we need to pick up any chairs or canopies or.
That's what
Right,
it stated.
yeah, okay, yeah. And so when I get a flyer made up, Suzanne Gandy's actually working on the flyer, I'll make sure she sends it to you. Perfect.
That's it? Dale?
All set.
Just a couple things. So Debbie will be interested. So I spoke with Dead River today. Let Kim know they're coming November 21st in the morning to reestablish the heat and the propane and
They
whatnot.
know the building might be needed on the 11th.
Debbie, I made 4 phone calls.
Yeah,
Kim
that's
stopped.
okay.
I
I'm
really,
gonna do it.
I don't know what we do. I know that's sort
Wear a
of.
sweater.
But is the intention
I
rain?
don't know.
Is the intention rain or shine?
I think actually when last time Roger and I talked, and I don't know if the special events committee said anything different, was that in inclement weather, we would use the David's building, the old town meeting house.
Oh, so the townhouse?
Yeah,
Oh,
townhouse, yeah.
Okay,
There's no heat there either.
I know,
yeah, okay.
but,
No lights in
That's
it.
on November 11th.
Saturday this year.
we'll know well in advance
Yeah.
whether we're gonna need
Well,
it.
the only thing, there is no heat in that building.
Right,
Right, and no lights.
but at least there'd be.
No lights.
Yeah, but it would be closer and so people would, yeah. And the expectation would be that there wouldn't be any heat, unlike here.
So that's a week from Saturday, so clearly a week from now, we'll have some
Yeah.
idea. Okay.
So what's the dead river date?
Pardon me?
What was the dead river date?
The 21st. Yeah,
21st.
Tuesday the 21st, which is the week of Thanksgiving. Okay, he assured me, and believe me, I make a lot of phone calls, and it's ringing, it's hard to get things done.
Thank you.
The second thing I have is Saturday was National First Responders Day. And I assume you guys might know that, so on behalf of the select board, and we all got together, and I think Tommy may have them in possession, but we have two $100 gift cards for each of your departments. And
Appreciate that.
we appreciate all you do, and thank you, and we couldn't really do it on Saturday. So, anyway, that's it, David.
As far as the old townhouse goes, if it looks like it's gonna be used, if you let me know ahead of time, I can get the batteries up there and have the lights available.
Oh, okay,
So,
all right.
I need a little bit of
Yeah.
notice, but I can take up a inverter and a couple of big batteries. You know, they'll run the lights for about 6 hours, 8 hours.
Oh, I didn't even know there were any lights in there.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we turn them on, you
Yeah.
know, he brings up a,
It's always in the summer, so I never assumed that we have lights in there. So, okay, great.
Other than that, I don't have any comments tonight. Public comments.
Related to what Tommy was saying, the planning board would really like to see the comprehensive plan available, either online or even available for us. We're just having a really hard time coming up with a copy of the 2009 comprehensive plan.
There's one right downstairs on the shelf
Good,
in the back office.
okay.
I don't know that it was ever scanned, so maybe that's.
No, it's not, we need to scan it, and that will be on the list.
Well, we have concerns in terms of updating ordinances that are related to things that are in the comprehensive plan, which is 2009. It just gets really convoluted.
what was, real quickly on that, what was the timeline?
It was 2009. I was on the committee as a representative of the planning board. I looked at some, 2-3 years ago, I looked through my files to see if I had a copy online, and I could not find one. But I've been through 2 or 3 computers since then, so I think probably our best bet is maybe we take it to Staples and get it scanned. Because I think you're right, Debbie, I think it does need to be.
We can scan it upstairs.
Can you put something that big on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe while we have you real quick, I just have a quick question, David. Is the planning board, it comes up in conversation with the select board, are there any pending subdivision applications before the planning board? I mean, is there anything anything we should know about?
I don't think there are.
Okay, we've heard some rumblings about things, and we were just curious.
About what areas?
Well, if you have none right now, but maybe at the north end of town, some different things, but there are no pending, nobody as of today. Okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay. Town administrators report.
Okay. So, everybody, Danny and Sean, you should have your credit cards, they were given in your mailbox. I did ask that you haven't activated them or spent, you can activate it, but just don't spend them until we go over the policy tonight, later on in the agenda. The limit that was given to you was 9,000, I called it, and that is quickly down 3,000.
Wondering about that.
I went, ooh,
The
no.
whole account's 9, right?
The total, but yeah, it was 9. Everybody had a total of 9.
Oh,
The
yeah.
call was 9.
I think that was just a, you said total 9,000?
Yeah.
Sean,
No.
bring the cat back.
So yeah, that was quickly corrected. So the total is 9 for the 3 departments, so everybody has 3. I've reached out to Seacoast Security. They're gonna be putting a camera in my office. They're coming on the 13th. With that, they are also gonna do the annual testing. I also asked them to update the codes, because I know I have 2 people who are using my password. I think Tommy, you're one of them, and Chris is the other one. So they've given me the information, so tonight, if you just wanna write down a password, and I can send it over to them, so that way you
Okay,
can
so
start
I don't
using
have-
that.
Okay.
Not right away, so I'll let you know when you can use it. So that's that. The big one is the principal at the Woolwich Central School, Jason Libby, called yesterday. And because of the recent events that happened last week, he does not want to hold the elections at the school. Well, that is too late because you have to request a new polling place within 6 months, so.
Oh, really, 6 months?
6
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
So, Shanna Bellows and Opal went over today to talk to Jason. You know, we have to use it, but he's trying to get it to where we only are using one door, that we cannot go into the school, which that's not feasible. You cannot go in and out of that one side door in the cafeteria. So now he wants us to go in throughout the music room, which is through that
Oh,
ramp.
okay.
And I don't think that's a good idea.
So did you hear back from the meeting with Shanna and?
Yep, I mean, what is gonna happen is Shanna took some pictures. They're gonna try to figure out, a way that they can refigure the election, area
Oh,
to where the check-in is, where the voting booth is, the entrance, the exit, this and that. You know, if it works, it works. But to be honest, I'm very discouraged that Jason has done this because it's not the first time he's done it. Basically, he told Opal that he does not want to hold elections at the school any longer and would like to find us a new place to go. I don't know how that, you know, all the other, Bath is having their election at the elementary school. Why is it always Woolwich that has the issue that
that's at the middle school.
the middle school, well, I mean, the central school is a
But
middle
it's
school,
still a school.
isn't it?
Well, it is, and Fifth Ward does not have
Right.
it at school.
But the
Yeah.
frustrating part of it is,
I'm not.
right, you know, he's concerned about the kids' safety, which everybody is, you know, but they're holding a harvest supper. They're holding, you know, a Christmas concert. So what, the Woolwich residents who are voters can't go to the school, but the Woolwich parents who are voters can go to the school to the harvest supper. You know, so David has reached out to Patrick Manuel, the superintendent. I just think that there needs to be a resolution because it's just ridiculous.
Well, this is kind of personal to me, because years ago, I made the statement when we were talking about the new school, and when we went to RSU, I said, you know, the day's gonna come when they're even gonna charge us for the use of the school, or they're not gonna let us use the school. And at the time, one of the resident here in town actually put a letter to the editor in the paper and everything, saying that I was a liar and that I didn't know what I was talking about and everything else. So this kind of really grinds me, because it you know, that at the time that school was being built, as Dale brought up earlier this evening, they made a big deal about it was gonna be a community center. It was gonna be for the community. It wasn't gonna be just, even though the school technically does not belong to the town of Woolwich, it was gonna be Woolwich's community center. And, you know, like Kim said, I mean, they host all kinds of events there that allow adults to come into the building. Parents, grandparents, that sort of thing. Basketball games, when they have a basketball game, they don't.
The spring
Yeah, so
auction,
what-
spring auction.
Yeah, spring
Right.
auctions, why don't?
It's just
So-
mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, a quick suggestion I would have, oh, David, go ahead, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, a quick suggestion I would have, or this is a crazy thought, why couldn't they retain a deputy for?
I was just
We
gonna
already
ask you,
said
why
that.
don't you have them put up a
If-
barricade?
I've already mentioned that to them, and Jason's response was, we had one there, and he was too engaged with the political parties outside.
Well, that isn't,
Well, that's not,
yeah.
I know, I like, you know, I said, why can't you not do this one day? You know, there's gotta be something.
Well, the reality going forward is, so, yeah, we've had some very, very small elections, but this one's whatever, and then the
Right,
presidential
the
election,
presidential, yeah.
they're too big, and the school is the place to go.
We can't have them here, it's just
Handicap,
not feasible.
Yeah, parking and lights and all that, so, and,
There are so many regulations
yeah.
given to us by the state. They actually tell us how far apart the booths have to be, how
Yeah.
far apart the ballot box has to be from the entrance. I mean, it's just, you know, we don't have the room in this building to do it unless we emptied out the entire fire department right back to the walls.
Which
We-
in the
we-
summertime,
we've
that's
done it
fine,
in the- we've
November,
done that
no.
before, but again, The hard thing up to the school is, if we have to come in through the front and go out the back, people are gonna have to walk. You know, we have a lot of elderly citizens in this town, and they're gonna have to walk
It
quite
comes
some
on, it
distance.
comes on that ramp, remember, there's like
Yeah.
a loading dock ramp thing, and
But
it's,
that, you mean over by the gym?
yeah, it's on the back side, right?
Yeah, but
So-
it wouldn't be all the way back there from the cafeteria. would it?
No, so it is, so if you go around the building and go into the back,
Yeah.
you had the music room here.
Oh.
Yeah, you remember, and then there's this,
Around the
Yeah.
other end of
the
that.
biggest thing is it's fairly dark,
Yeah.
and it is quite a ways out there. The other thing is, if you guys think about the front doors, they have, handicap buttons. Like when you go in the main front doors, you have buttons. Coming out the side door, we usually make sure that you folks get out. It's too late in the game, in my opinion, it's very late in the game.
Well, it is,
It really is.
It's very frustrating.
it's just a shame that all of a sudden, the community is not welcome to use a building that at one time belonged to us.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, a couple more things. So with that, since the election is next Tuesday, the town office will be closed. And I need to know if the select board will be here on Monday,
3:30.
3 o'clock?
3
Three? I wanna say 3. We
Okay.
should be able to do 3, right?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, we come here first.
Yep,
We
we'll
load up.
load everything up
Yep.
and meet over at the school. I'll confirm 3,
We
3:30.
know we're going to the school, we just don't.
Going to the school, we just
Okay.
don't know where yet,
Right.
at the time. I just wanna make sure that the school buses are going and the kids are going before we go over there.
Okay.
And the last thing I have is Thanksgiving week. We usually close the town office early on Wednesday because nobody ever comes in, and I'd like to close it at 2 o'clock, if that's okay with the board.
We're not gonna do it till 6, right?
Right.
Me personally, I think it's
Because
reasonable.
we're open an hour earlier now.
Yeah, right, opening earlier, and
Yeah.
I think it's
And that's what
reasonable.
we've done, I think, in the past.
Yes.
You think it's reasonable?
What's that?
You okay with it?
Yes. By consensus.
Okay, and that's all I got.
I
All right.
appreciate you working out with the school and reaching out to the Secretary of State's office. And it was nice that Shanna came down here to
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of help map things out.
Yeah, real quickly, there's no question that people are concerned, that isn't.
Right.
It's just, there's gotta be some balance. I think this missing a deputy right away kind of really,
Yeah, that doesn't seem right to me.
because I wasn't thinking of outside as much as I was thinking in the lobby.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because the concern is when you come through the doors, you are with the children.
Right, and the sheriff deputy has been there before.
Yeah.
Couldn't
And-
they put some kind of a temporary barricade across there?
Well, I think what they wanna do is maintain going to the
Some
Right.
kind of
the
security.
cafeteria.
And Opal might be able to answer it better about the deputy because, that was mentioned by either Julie Flynn or Shanna Bellows to Jason, and he just,
I mean, not to be mean, but what's gonna happen here? If we do it here and we have 150 people waiting in line,
I don't know.
there's a big threat there too, right? I mean, not to be disrespectful,
Yeah.
but, I don't know, all
Well,
right.
I think the effort, I think, has been to really, to make this a place that the community was welcome. So,
Yeah.
it's
See what we can do.
kind of sad.
Mhm.
Keep us posted, David, what you hear.
Yeah.
Yes. Road Commissioner, Jack.
I don't have really anything, we just normal maintenance, keeping help with some plug and keeping things going. Do you have anything for us, Kim?
No?
I've been doing a lot of negotiating with the paving people on the Quonset Road, but so far I haven't rung any bells, so we're gonna get what they give us,
Well,
that's
they're-
about the bottom line.
So can
There-
you explain the description that what's
Well, you
gonna
were,
happen?
I mean, the binder thing and the.
Yeah, I don't even, what are we talking
Well,
about?
real quickly, Dad, they were out there painting this evening
Yeah.
on the, I forgot who you were talking to, right? They're out there marking all kinds of stuff, so, or maybe you said it.
Yeah,
Do we know how long of a section this weekend's gonna be down that one lane?
I don't, the only thing I read was what it said, they got the traffic lights up. And what I saw this afternoon when I came over to look at it, was they got the trench, they started to prepare the trench for the base. I'm not sure how this is all gonna work out, they're gonna put something on it, I
I guess that's right, so to answer your question, it looks like, so they base in the trench, which is the base layer of pavement,
Mhm.
which is the binder term, and then the
Okay,
surface layer, they promised the town at minimum, they're doing the 9 foot, right? But obviously, they're much wider than that in places, because they blew up the road.
Well, then also there's those
They're gonna do the
bumps.
9 foot.
No, I thought they were gonna do the 9 foot.
Yeah, but I think they was gonna go up to 9 feet, but I don't think they're gonna go 9 feet where they don't need to.
What are they painting, Neil? Or who's on?
Yeah, they're painting right down the center of the road. Go look at it, you see it.
They appear to be painting down the center, but the concern now is that they're gonna take them lumps out.
Yeah, that
All
was,
those
Well,
blowouts.
I had a long conversation this morning with the water people, the grant. The lady was very nice and so on. She was, I don't wanna say she was a little disappointed that there's not a better relationship here between us and the district, but she was kind of on that side of it, because normally this is worked out with the department, and we can come to some kind of a conclusion. This should not be a battering between us and her, the grant writing people. So, but at any rate, I don't get very far with the water district on this, and Wright and Pierce is kind of holding their line, so we just see what they give us, I guess.
Well, at the end of the day, we know that it was videoed, and we know that the job will not be done for another.
The day we all met over there, I asked about what's on this side of the road where the trucks were loaded,
Yeah.
because they maintained, well, they didn't dig anything on this side of the road. But on the left side, the trucks got loaded, they squat the pavement down. You know, and I said, what are you gonna do about this? Well, he said, I don't see any problem with it.
The other thing that,
you mean the part from the school to Route 1? Right?
no, I think he
Oh,
means
the other side.
the other half of the road.
Okay, all right, okay.
So when you dig on this side, what you drive, you beat this
Right,
side up, doing this
yeah.
side.
I mean, the big heavy trucks have gone by the excavation line and squashed the road down. And I explained to this lady about, you know, they did this when we didn't know they were gonna do it. They had a lay-down area that they're still using full bore on the road. And they don't seem to have any regard for what we want or what we... So I guess the best thing to do is just let them go and we'll see what we come up with this.
There is gonna be a reality though, next year, when they shut down the hosting of the Quonset Road. You know, they're not gonna, they're taking the excavation obviously over to the industrial park.
Yeah.
You know, that's where they're dumping like crazy over there, getting rid of the.
So they're coming down this side?
Well, so what they've been doing on the Quonset Road is obviously they have the laydown area, they load and go one way or this way, but obviously next year they still have miles of 127 left. And we are really gonna have to ramp up our difficulty next year, you know.
Start posting every road. in town.
Well, we're gonna have to really have a, and I'm sure we're gonna have a meeting.
Will we have support from DOT about?
We shouldn't have to have it, it's a town road.
No, I was thinking when we're next year, when we're dealing with
When
127.
you tell them they can't use the Quonset road to go through traffic.
Right, there's been a lot of grief about using the Quonset Road as posted through, and I know you brought it up. It's difficult when they were working on the Quonset Road. We know that they bring material to the job, out of the job, and whatever. But they also have been taking excavation and going across into the industrial park. And there's a major filling going on over there. And you guys, I think the planning board was, I understand they came and got another approval for some more
Are
filling.
they coming from?
From that end of the Quonset back
Yeah.
across.
But what I'm
Okay,
saying
that was
is,
my
yeah, what I'm saying is the Quonset, let's say it got done.
Yeah,
And then they've still got these miles of 127.
Right.
Logically, they're gonna load, as they get closer to the Quonset next year when they're
Right.
working,
They're gonna come
they're
down.
probably not gonna turn around, go around the corner,
Right.
wave, come back.
Right.
So we have got to really,
It's an automatic coming across from Quonset, turn right, go to the industrial park.
exactly,
You know?
exactly, yeah.
But it was posted before, this end has been posted.
Oh, we just turned the Quonset into a one-way road.
well, we just gotta do, we gotta do what we always do, we gotta do
Go
it
one way.
screaming and yelling. You know?
One of the little problems here that surfaced was Reed got denied to use the road. They asked to use it, coming to help them get around and so on. And we said no, and they were not, excuse me, they were not real happy about it. Because in this bunch of pipe layers come into town and they just took over everything and they don't seem to care.
Well, the bottom line is, it shouldn't, the town of Woolwich, the taxpayers in the town of Woolwich really aren't benefiting a lot from this project. Okay, there's no real clear benefit to us.
They don't agree with that. I can
Other than
say.
the fact that we're gonna get a whole bunch of new fire hydrants that we're gonna pay for us several $1,000s a year, okay? So there's no real great benefit for the taxpayers of the town of Woolwich. Why should we take it on the chin and have to pay to have our road repaired? They should repair the road the way, they should, I don't care about repairing it back the way it was before. They should make a proper road out of it, a I mean, they beat the tar out of that road, literally, and they should make it right. So that's the bottom line. But
So, yeah.
if it comes down to it, half a loaf's better than none.
Well, stay tuned though, they're gonna be back.
But we're not gonna give up until we, you know,
Well, I guess that's
till the
my,
15th round, right?
Remember, the project isn't completed until the end of
right,
next
but
year.
is the construction on Naquasset Road, will that be done at
That's
the
what,
end of?
that's what you've been reading in these
Yeah,
updates.
yeah.
They're heading for the stop sign.
Right,
The idea is to finish, right? And
Yeah.
so,
so they need to do that, so
right.
this should be the final,
It should, but what we have in our favor is this, there's always a 1-year warranty period. They are not leaving town because they have to come back next year and
Okay.
finish the other 3 miles. So we're just gonna have to see what,
Well, once they're done working on the Naquasset Road, can they keep their laydown area on the Naquasset Road?
no, that's
I
why,
would think that would be
David,
gone.
that's why they
They
relocated,
moved
that's
it.
why they relocated to Water District property.
They're still using it.
But they're still
so
using
they-
it.
No, they are right now because they haven't done the paving, right? They're gonna do it this week or next week, but that's what I mean, we've got to really start ramping up our,
We've got to post that road,
yeah.
you know.
Now, when we had that last meeting, he sat here and said that he was gonna get Mr. Shaw and Mr. Shaw to walk the Naquasset Road with him. Have they done that?
Oh, yeah,
He went, yeah.
So,
yeah,
did you tell him you weren't happy with the way things were?
yeah.
Or what good did it do to have you walk the road?
It didn't do a damn bit good. It didn't. I said, I don't like this, the way this is beat up. There's excavator tracks that wide in the hot top that are not gonna be taken out. On this side of the road, on the back side. And there, Mr. Ranger turned around to me, and he says, well, I think they were already there.
Well, there's a video.
There isn't even an excavator around here that big.
Well, it ain't over yet, let's just,
yeah.
So we'll make, no, it's okay, it's not death, we're gonna keep on trucking.
yeah, let's just see
We'll
what
get
happens.
through it. I just, there's no sense to have all kinds of big arguments and fighting and all that.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jack. Codes office, do we have anything first? No, okay. EMS, Danny.
So, read my list, in October, we had 31 calls in October, 31 days. With 31 patients, 20 transported. Some of the calls were back to back, so we have both ambulances out at once going to multiple calls, which is always an exciting morning. But MCI we called, or MC1 we called 6 times and BAP once for mutual aid. We were also called to assist with Cassett once, and one of our trucks with 3 crew members went to CMMC to help during the shooting. So, but we had several other members here in town covering the town as well. So the town was covered throughout it, but we did have some of our people go over there to help. So we also brought one patient home by ambulance, and we helped another who came home by taxi just get back into their house. So trying to help the community more, like when people need help getting home, we're there. So other things I have are all, we continue our training. We have another training, if anybody wants to come, on November 29th on treating hypothermic patients, because it's that time of year. So if anybody wants to come, you're welcome, 6 p.m. here. And that's with Dr. Giverson from the hospital, so. And then need to talk about grants. The Blue Ribbon Commission grant, they finally, they're starting to roll it out and saying what it's for. They're supposed to be sending me a letter that would be that's an application. From what I can tell, we will get anywhere from between 15 to 100,000. It's a broad number. And it has to do with our application, volunteer hours, number of hours spent, calls, number of calls, responses, things like that. So I'm waiting on them to get me that. The other thing is the EMS Connectivity Project Grant, which I talked about before, that has for putting in communications equipment in the rescues. They finally got back with the money was given by DOT, and the top sheet's really boring. And they got back, and they're ready to send out memorandums of understanding, or whatever they're officially called, which are at the back of the second package, drafts of it. And so basically, as soon as we sign that, or they will come in and install all of this for free. You caveat is, and it tells you on that what it is. It's wireless routers, antennas, it includes FirstNet service for 2 years, and data services. We pay nothing for the first 2 years. We don't pay anything for installation, equipment, or anything else. For them to get this grant, they had to promise the federal government they would last for 5 years. So, and they're searching for grant money to help pay for the monthly fees for the extra 3 years after the first 2.
The 100,
How does
187,
that-
50?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, that extra money would be after 2 years.
So after 2 years,
187.50?
$126.98 per ambulance
Where's that?
per month. It's on the,
Says here, $187.50 per month for an ambulance.
oh, that was the early, so that's why, that was the early,
Okay,
something that came, I put it in only because it explains some of what we get a little better.
okay.
If you look on the second package in the page, that's what they sent me a few days ago.
Okay.
So it would be, basically after 2 years, it would be $126.98 per ambulance, so $1523.76 annually, which is within our communications budget per ambulance. But we wouldn't have to pay for the cell phones that we're paying for now, which is around 100 or a little over 100. That would be included. So so we would save about $1,200 a year over the next few years in communication, and that, so it's $1,200 less we'd be paying those extra 3 years. So we'd basically be paying about $1,800 a year total out of communications. That's what we would be obligated to for those next 3 years.
And that compares favorably with what you're spending now?
Hmm?
That compares favorably with what you're spending now?
Oh, the
It's the same.
service and what we get, it's a lot better. So right now, we just basically have a cell phone. That's it, one in each truck. This gives wireless internet in each truck, which will also help our monitors. We'll be able to talk to hospitals better, so we'll be able to send vitals. It will talk to road signs to change them, or other people's cars saying, hey, there's an emergency seen ahead, just by turning on our lights.
You
It will
mean
give
those
us-
electronic road signs?
Yeah, those are like, the state is still working on that connection, but that's the plan, and that's why the federal DOT put so much money into this, and that's why they funded this, because they're looking at road safety.
How about the security of the system through that, because of the HEPA laws and everything?
Yeah, it's secure, it's a secure system, and if you look at the package in there, and I don't have an extra, so I can't look at it right away. It talks about the host security and other things, so it's they are like high-speed wireless secure systems. And it's, and when we transmit vitals as well, there's no name attached. We're transmitting like the 12 lead, just symbols, and we're talking to the hospital directly.
So is this statewide, or is this just?
This grant, the Maine EMS got this grant for every 911 response, transporting service in the state. So it has to be 911 response transporting, so they don't give it to private, just hospital transfer company. So every EMS vehicle, licensed EMS vehicle, which we have 2 in the state, is eligible for this. They have to apply for it, like we do, and do the memorandum of understanding. But basically, I'm asking permission to sign this form and move forward for this. I think the budgetary, yes, after 2 years, they are still looking for grants. But, yeah.
I'd entertain a motion to allow Danny to sign this grant.
So the memorandum, right? So
Second.
Those in favor? You got up?
The last thing I have then, and again, the Blue Ribbon Commission grant, as soon as I hear anything else, I'll ask you.
And if you need, let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, it's, I'm gonna need a lot of information to fill out the grant. It's grant writing, and they want hours and things like that. So, the last thing, which I talked a couple of meetings ago about our billing rates. I since discovered something, because I was making this presentation a couple of days ago, and I'm like, oh. I did not realize that at the town meeting this year, it was voted, approved to raise our rates. That information was never given to our billing company. And I did not know this had happened So, and I was doing research on, okay, what's the process to have to do this? So our rates are almost in line with what I was going to propose, except for mileage. So as soon as I saw that was in the warrant and everything, I contacted the billing company. It just, after the town meeting, that never got relayed to them apparently, and I had no idea it existed. So that's fixed now, the billing company has fixed that. And I do have these, so, I think I didn't have an extra copy there. So this is a worksheet I made up. This shows our current billing rates that I've changed, which the ones that they were billing were a few $100 less in some cases. It also shows so our current rate and what we can charge. So basically, that in-network 200% is what in-network insurers will have to pay. Thing is, as I said before, none of those numbers, we can't raise anything by more than 5% a year from here on out, starting January 1st. So the only thing that's really low is our ground mileage, if you notice. We are way below our neighbor towns that are at 20 and looking to raise because of this. And I would propose, if there's a way, if there's going to be a special town meeting or anything, anyways, before the first of the year, I would propose that we raise it to at least $20 a mile for mileage. Because we're not gonna be able to, if Medicare raises what it will allow in the next year, we're still gonna, right now we'd be able to raise it 85 cents a year, basically, and that's it.
What's
So,
OON?
out of the network.
Okay.
So they have to pay, if they're out of network insurance, 180%. I'm also working to try and get, the healthcare network, the main stuff, to get us in those networks where I can. And Medicare will never pay more than that. That's.
And is it the case that the mileage is generally the lion's share of the bill, any given bill?
It really, unless we're doing an ALS level 2 to Portland to Maine Med or something, but that's still a lot of mileage. But like that $1,400 ALS level 2, we rarely do that. That's for major trauma when we got lots of drugs flowing, lots of people on board, medications, not drugs. We rarely do that, but the mileage to say to Portland, it's 40 miles, 37, something like that. That's really the lion's share of where things come from.
So this isn't 17 cents a mile?
No, it's $17 a mile.
Okay.
He wants to go up $3 to 20, right?
Yeah, I would like to say 20. I think other towns are going to like 22 or 23, but I'm not trying to nickel and dime our people. I just know that in 3 years in the future, if we're missing out $10 a mile or something based on from insurance companies, then I think we're missing out, and that's good.
Well, if we don't have a special town meeting in the near future, can you wait till the May town meeting?
No. It has to be done by January
It's
1st,
capped at that 5%.
before January.
So that is a fact, right?
That is a fact.
The fact is, after January 1st, we're capped at 5% increases, that's it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I did talk to Kristen, to the board's knowledge, when we were talking about the other stuff. And I mentioned this, she hadn't really heard much, but she did advise that we should probably do that if we can. And if we have to do this property approval,
Right.
maybe the first meeting in December, can we have a
Yeah, we can have a special.
small town, I know they're paying it, but.
And
We
that
ought
would be
to see if there's anything
Yeah,
else.
I
we
mean,
need to do at the
Again,
same time.
this is my recommendation, just so that we're
Well, no,
not in the
it's-
future.
No, but that's what you're saying, I mean, $17, we're limited to 85 cents more.
Yeah,
So
each
it wouldn't take
each year.
wouldn't take, let me do my math, 4.5 months, we're gonna be $10 behind the 8 ball.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would
so-
be December 6th.
Oh, I'm just suggesting, I mean, we all wanna do it, the 20th, obviously, we're getting, I would think that, don't we need just 2 weeks notice to do it? When we have
Yeah.
we have a month.
We're gonna have to get the warrant together, yeah. I
I
know Opbox wanted to do something, because we have to have a special town meeting, but I haven't heard anything about the application,
Can you check with them?
and I'll
see-
find out, because if we can get, because we have to do this.
We have to do the land, right?
Yeah,
If
so
we
we can
could
get
do-
everything together.
If we could do 2 or 3 things at once, it would
Great.
make sense.
Yep.
And you'll notice the other numbers on this billing rate saying, we're actually pretty close, so like 600 for ALS when could be 640. We can make that up with the 5% if we need to, so I wasn't, it's not a focus, it's not a big.
Well, it's clear that the other numbers are in line with the last two columns,
Yeah, and they weren't, you know, for,
but the mileage is way low.
yeah.
That's why Brian put it
Yeah.
in,
Yeah, so, I mean, like, it used to be the second line down, or the third line ALF was 950, so you'll see that that was like way off, and that's what had me concerned, and other things were 400, like, until I discovered in the handy-dandy printed town meeting book. So,
All right, well, we'll try to, we'll check the box and see if they're gonna be ready, and we can do the permission to sell on this property at the same time. We can put 2 or 3 things together in one.
If we do our schedule, if we think right, I think the next, right, but the next meeting, so today's the 1st, the next meeting's the 15th, right? So we could vote to approve that warrant and post it and still have the time, right? Because that works out good this month, right?
and again, I know that the town actually set the budget. My recommendation is 20. If the town wanted to go 22 or something like that, if you guys thought that was financially, that would be in line with what other people are going towards, but I think 20.
Can you, before now and then, can you get us a list of like Bath and Wiscasset and what they are?
Well, I know, before this, they were $20 a mile when we were 16, until,
If you can find out what they're charging current.
I can try to find out. Well,
Pick 2 or 3 of
what
them.
they're trying to change it to, yeah.
You make sure we know.
Everybody's going through this process right now because of this law.
Well,
We
make sure we-
actually have an extra, we
Yeah.
have 5 weeks between the 15th and
Right.
December 6th. that we
Right,
got
so
some-
it works out good,
Yeah.
yeah. So make sure we know, because remember,
Yeah.
town meeting, can't go up at a town meeting, go down, but we want to know
Yeah.
the number, you know?
And, one thing I noticed, when I was doing going through all the ordinances for the website thing, I noticed that the EMS billing rates are in the EMS billing ordinance, which isn't what we actually did at the last town meeting. We just, I guess, voted on an amendment to that ordinance, is effectively what we did, right? We didn't, so do we need to present the whole ordinance for this, or just do the same thing we did?
That's a good point. We can't violate the ordinance, so if we're gonna go up on the rate, the rate's gotta change in the ordinance. Or is there a way that we can reword the ordinance and take the rates out of it?
Well, sometimes
The
what happens,
ordinance is only a page long, it's not,
Right.
it's like.
that's a clean way to do it, but as you remember, sometimes there's that, I use the wrong term here, but they take out a section, right? It's because you're only amending a section X of the word. You know, I don't know if we've updated it to.
Yeah, we don't need to update the entire ordinance, but we can change just section 2.3 or whatever it is, you know. But still though, does it make sense to have something that changes on a fairly regular basis printed in the ordinance?
Right, like if it's going up 5%.
We should
No, I know. It's gonna change every year, right?
We should look at the ordinance and see if we could just remove the rates from the ordinance, or put some wording in there that says that the rates will be subject to current,
That's a good Christian question.
current
Yeah.
costs and,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
everything.
Attorney question, good question.
Right. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, otherwise, every
It's a good
time,
point,
every
yeah.
time we go up or
Right.
down or anything on the rate, we gotta change the ordinance.
It seems
The
that,
ordinance actually
That's
does
why-
not reflect what we did at the town meeting.
Yeah, so the town meeting thing had the changes in it, but the ordinance never got that.
Okay, so technically, what we did at the town meeting isn't,
Well, we amended the ordinance. It was under the section of the town meeting called ordinances, and I think it was worded in sort of a wishy-washy way, but
And, well, yeah, it
effectively.
wasn't-
that was a technical
well, we
one.
we should review the ordinance before we
Clean
get
it up, yeah.
cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Danny, is that it?
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, thank you.
The music's playing. Sean?
For you.
5 calls since the last meeting. We had a very successful open house, very good turnout at the open house.
Just for the record, I was out of town.
You might remember, notice that Allison Hepburn had gone.
Yeah.
Very good.
And you didn't see the article in the Blue Bay Register?
I did.
I think Allison was the only select person that wasn't there, wasn't she?
Yeah, let's just make sure that everybody knows.
But we did that, Allison.
Record cotton candy day, too.
That's what I
yeah.
heard.
I was told by the CMP representative that was there, he's been to 9 open houses. We had the busiest and biggest one yet, so I was quite tickled with that. So we'll do that again next year, definitely. Host testing was completed last week. We tested just shy of 8,200 feet of hose. I had 4 lengths of large diameter, which is what we hook to hydrants. 400 feet of that failed, and I had 4 sections of forestry line fail. I've already requested a quote for the large diameter hose replacement, so once I have that, I'll get that approved. And
Did you do that at the Woolwich Wisconsin?
yeah, and they were there all week doing all the environments.
Oh, okay.
Really, really good, good for that.
Yeah.
The forestry line that failed, I'm just gonna apply for that on the grant that we're putting together right now, so. Probably by the next meeting, I'll have everything for the grant to have you guys approve that. Other than that, we've talked about the lighting and, other issues. Engine 2 is still at Northeast in Auburn. Delayed a little bit with last week's events. They had a couple, I guess they made it optional for their folks, whether they wanted to come into work or not, so it was picked out a little bit, but, anyway, they called me today. They know what's wrong with it. They have the foam pump out of the truck on the workbench, and they duplicated the issue that we had encountered. They're trying to get aftermarket parts for it, so we're not held up. The manufacturer of the foam portion of that pump, if we have to go through the manufacturer, it's not going to be cheap and it's not going to be quick. So they're hoping to have that wrapped up soon. Once that's back, then I'm going to look into getting the tires done on engine 3, and we'll be swapping tires and rescues here within probably the next 20 days or so. Putting more tires on. But other than that, heat's all turned on both buildings, working good. I don't have any other issues right now. So,
No more roof issues with the North Station or anything?
not that I'm aware of, no.
Good.
You have the new, I was just in touch with Shannon Els.
Yes.
She's gonna be a
Yes,
new
yep, she's
very
excited.
fire.
Yeah.
She's great.
EMS and fire.
Yeah, both, okay.
Yeah, she seems like she's pretty interested, so. A couple new members here and there, but.
I have a couple new interviewees for the EMS staff as well coming up, so.
Real quick, is there any WEMA updates?
It's posted, I don't.
No applicants?
I didn't see it posted, for some reason I can't get to the internet website, like it said it failed every time. I have to work that out, but I didn't see it posted on the Facebook page or the job opening or on the town website.
It's not on the town website. I didn't put it on Facebook.
I had a few people message me or call me about it, but they thought there was a misprint, and I explained to them there wasn't a misprint.
What was the misprint?
It's about the pay.
Hey.
600 bucks?
They thought there was a zero.
I knew the pay was gonna be
I
it.
said,
Did you
no.
get that, you didn't get your application?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I miss something?
Yeah, you did, the deadline.
No, I'm applying for the town EMA on here.
Nobody internal, nobody?
All right,
I-
we're gonna move.
We can talk.
All right, thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
All right, real estate broker contract, let's do the credit card policy first. Let's do that first. Has everybody had a chance to review the credit card policy? Is there anything you want to change? Any?
So one question I only want to see if this is what you said last time, is that, so when the statements come every month, like there will be one under Sean's card, there will, a statement, the one for EMS and one for the town, is that right? I think could be a really great accounting tool. So, good.
So we're getting 3, is that what I'm reading? So
Yes.
all 3 of you have?
Yes.
No, just, say it.
Okay, motion to.
So, and Danny, Tommy, what's that? Nothing you see?
Yeah,
No, so moving.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Okay,
Great.
we'll make this the original, I'll sign it and pass it down. Should be dated too. Moved on.
And, should we,
23, I didn't have to.
we should vote on,
Well, I looked up here, I cheated. Hey, when you retired, every day's, every day's the same.
David, should we, just to make it official, just, the agreement says the select board has to designate who's gonna get cards, and so we should make it official that
Let the record show that, that Sean gets a card, Danny gets a card, and Kim has a card. Okay? So we'll put that right in the minutes. Okay. Now let's go back to real estate broker contract. This thing needs about 27 signatures and everything here, all from me.
This is to purchase the land on Woolwich Road.
It is, so Dale, yeah, I don't
Dale
know.
buying it?
No, but it turns out you were correct about town meeting approval. Only because of certain verb, it could sell and create, can't even, blah, blah, blah. So, you all remember, we need town meeting approval to sell it. Kristen said go ahead and list it. As it works out, we're gonna have a town meeting anyway.
Okay.
I move that we authorize the chair, David, to sign the contract, or agreement, I guess.
Who are we contracting?
Rick Vincent.
Okay.
So Tommy, David, and I met with, and Kim met with at the last meeting, prior to the last meeting, and worked out the details. I already forgot the price.
75,000.
We're gonna list it at 75,000, and we're gonna pay commissioners 6% on it.
Yeah, we paid 69,000 for it.
Okay.
Just so you
Did
know.
you say 75,000? You told me on the phone today 90,000.
I was told you were to buy it. I thought you wanted to buy it.
No, not for 90,000.
Hey, it's a lot easier to get down than up.
You can always work it up. You gotta start bidding more.
I see.
Okay, those in favor? All right. Kim, I'll settle you immediately afterwards and make sure I sign everything in the right place. 'cause
Absolutely,
it's
there's a
got-
lot of them.
You can see the
There's a
stickers
lot.
on here, okay?
Yep.
Those were-
All right. Air conditioner quote, I gotta say, I'm shocked at this. Do we pay anywhere near that much money for these things when we put them in?
I don't think one of them.
The air conditioners died, one of them has died.
No.
And
Mouse chewed through the whole entire circuit breaker,
It
and
is
board
six-
in there, and,
It's $6,352 to replace
It
it.
is?
well, they're also replacing the two, pumps downstairs, the two units that are
Oh,
not functioning.
so this includes three?
Yes, well, it's the air conditioner out here,
Yeah.
and then it's the two,
That has to be signed.
heat things, whatever those,
The exchange.
The exchange.
yeah.
Okay.
That's nice.
So this is the things outside the building, right? We're changing one of them.
Yes,
Pretty
and
good price.
those,
The main thing outside the
Yes.
building that the mice always.
yes.
What's who's the vendor?
Which means covers.
It goes
They go
to
energy. They have done work here, and
Should we,
I'll tell you.
I don't know, should we, I think,
It's so hard to get anybody to do anything.
I can do it.
Tommy just had some.
I'd like to get some heat in the
No,
in the
we just had some work,
building.
I mean, you know, that this sounds to be, I mean, David,
just a thought, would it be cheaper to buy Kimball Coat?
You know what, Opal and Candace both have their own individual heaters under their desk.
hey,
I
this
we
is,
give
can
them
buy
that,
three
today I was
coats.
gonna buy
We
myself
can
one
buy
too.
three coats.
It's
Dale's made a
Money
motion
on
to put a
this.
gag order on David, all this.
Where's the music?
I
No,
know,
but.
But it helps in the summertime, because Sean's in there with the thing, turning the thing on.
Okay, but
I don't have one.
I'm just wondering, are we, if this is the only price we've got, are we violating our own policy? This is a lot of money.
the trouble we're having is getting people to come out and give us a price. Everybody that we call can't come for 2 or 3 months just to look at it. And I agree, David, this whole pricing has changed drastically in the last 18 months. And I think you can vouch for that, and you can vouch for that, and you can, and so I'm not, yeah, is it sticker shock? Oh, yeah, should only pay $4,500. But
Even
you can't,
including these two.
well, no, I'm just, but who we, it's like the Dead River
Well,
guy.
we gotta have, we gotta have heat in the building, there's no question about it.
And air conditioning, because it's heat and air conditioning.
But,
Same unit.
well, right now, we're more interested in heat.
Right, exactly,
But it's the same
But
unit.
You get all the air conditioning you want, just open the window.
absolutely.
I think the market conditions right
I know how it
now,
would,
something we should just do it.
Yeah, all I can do is recall last winter with the heating thing, we got heat all summer, I think, in the fire
Yeah.
station, and I
Yeah.
called all the time,
Ah,
all the time. And today with Dead River, it's like, we have a 1,000-gallon tank out here that we buy propane from Dead River, right? And it's like, dude, you sell us a lot of propane, you have got to come out and get us some heat, you know, Debbie walks when you're screaming at me. And they're like, he starts out the 20th, I go, for sure, no. The 21st, I go, we keep going through Thanksgiving. And, so, and I know you guys, everybody's always like, when, but you can't get anybody to do anything. Go ahead.
How about the fellow on Sam Moore on top of the hill? He does that thing, he's got quite a business going.
Is it, was that the white guy? No.
No, where the new house is, it the?
Yeah, it's Wiley.
Right.
Yeah, our,
I mean, it's just a suggestion, but I don't know, but he's right, you can't get things done, you better grab it if you can get it.
What was the turnaround time, Kim? Do you know what the,
They just gave me the quote, they did not give me an estimate on how long.
that's another whole problem.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I've done a couple jobs with them in the
Right
last
here,
year.
it says June 3rd, 2025.
Stop it.
2027?
Just to remind the board though, Midcoast had done quite a bit of work here.
Come on, can we hurry this up?
Yeah,
Everybody's go home.
no,
Well, if we can't do anything any different, I guess a motion would be in order.
Yeah, I'll,
So moved.
You,
second.
I do.
Those in favor, even reluctant?
reluctant. We're all being held hostage.
Tammy knows.
What I would say, Kim, seriously, just jump in. You call them and they say, oh, we're scheduling in March, keep calling.
Oh, absolutely,
Keep calling.
absolutely.
If they can't give us a fairly quick turnaround, let's spend some time looking for a better price.
Yep.
There's a lot of guys still advertising on the radio and TV and everything, so there must be some available time. We need to appoint an emergency addressing officer.
We've already appointed them.
Yeah, we gotta sign it.
Yeah.
I moved to authorize David to
Right.
sign the, so folks, this is the form the state gets to authorize Chris to be the
We've already voted to appoint him.
Oh, right, yep,
So
he's
now
going to do it.
we should let the state know that.
Yep,
They don't do that?
Motion allow me to sign this?
so moved.
Second.
Those in favor?
Kim is still our backup too, don't forget that.
Thanks.
Thanks,
What
Kim.
is, that's just.
The state has to have, I ran into this before with them, Erica, that they have to have this form. It's very strict authorization as to who the person is to get into the system and blah, blah, blah. Kim has a system and a code, whatever she has, but.
Actually, they've changed it now because yesterday Chris signed an address and he is not signed up yet for this. So I said, well, I'll enter it for you.
Backdate that to
Yeah,
yesterday?
so I said, I'll enter it for you. So I went in to go in because we just had training on a new system
Okay.
Monday. They've already eliminated the old one. I can't even get into it.
Does anybody have anything else for the board?
No, we're all set on voting, 3 o'clock, right? Okay.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Sit down in your desk for a minute.
Yeah.
We have authority to sell that because it serves little or no use to the town. It's just a strip. She has prepared a motion that we need to vote on tonight.
Okay, what about a turnaround?
The turnaround's separate from this,
Okay.
but we have secured that too. It's going
Oh,
to be,
yeah, okay,
yeah,
okay.
we're working on that. What she says is, I would suggest the following motion to approve all of this, which involves what you said, Allison. So I move, or the motion is to grant a quitclaim deed to Davis Carver for an unused and unbuildable parcel of town-owned land located off Hall Road within the old US Route 1 for the purchase price of $3,000 and to accept from Mr. Carver a turnaround license
Okay.
and easement on his property off Hall Road. The easement will be presented at a future town meeting for acceptance, but the license is accepted with this vote,
Okay.
which we can do at the town meeting.
Mhm.
That's the motion.
Okay.
I just made that.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay,
Then it says, once the vote is taken, the deed can be signed.
okay, those in favor? Okay, we've all got to sign this one. The turnaround easement, we don't sign that, he signs that, right?
Right, and Kim has helped work on there's an exhibit to show where it'll be. We don't own the land. I've had conversations with David, he's all good, Chris has got all the information. And I think this is a good thing.
So this is another matter we have to do at the special town meeting?
So what she said was, the license, if we never voted on it at town meeting, we'd be all set. She calls it a license. But she said, technically, if you want it to be an easement, you could just throw it, she'll give us the verbiage, do it at the next town meeting, whether it's now or a year from now.
Okay.
And it just makes it for future select board, landowners.
So how big is the turnaround gonna be?
50 by 50 is the peak, which is large. So the turnaround may not act,
Depending on what we do.
yeah, 50 by 50 is quite big, and it's gonna be back a little, so you can drive up, back around.
It's gotta be big enough for a school bus.
Fire truck, garbage truck, whatever.
50 by 50 turnaround, you can turn about anything around to that, other than tractor trailer.
Right, because remember, you have the width of the road too.
Yep.
On top of that.
Alright.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Kim.
we'll even kick in the two little sheds. when we do it.
Oh, yeah. You told them we, yeah, right. We don't, the sheds.
Alright.
And all the tires and everything else that's in the shed.
Now we adjourn.
Sorry, Kim, sorry.
6:59.
You were right, though, you were right. So hard to remember. Yes, move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn?
Hey, it's hard to remember all this. Yes, I don't know about it, I keep on going.
Okay.
Now we're out of here.
Now.
Well, good luck,
Get
Dale.
out and
Okay.
sign that.